Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
Did any of you ever think about being a cop? Like, have you like? Did you,
Oh
have you,
God,
when you were a kid,
no!
like,
When I was
Yeah,
never
I
crossed
was
my
like
mind.
8, and I was like, I want to be a cop and help people. And then,
See, I just wanted.
and then I got into punk rock.
Complete
opposite.
My dad,
When I
is-
was little, like
his
it's crazy
dad-
to say, but
My dad is actually a resource officer.
Oh,
for,
okay.
For,
School.
for like a middle
Yeah.
school, and he, he's the only cop that I would ever like trust because because he is just like so loving and such a caring person, and he actually loves people and is good
Yeah.
with people, and he doesn't take advantage of.
Not trying to make a power move out of it.
Yeah, he never does that. He he does what he needs to do, and he actually helps.
Ouch, your dad's a good man.
Yeah, he is.
Which he's my cousin too, but
Yeah, but yeah. But I've never thought about being a cop. I don't think I'm fit for that.
The mustache says otherwise.
Absolutely.
You do have a
Oh,
cop
yeah.
mustache.
The mustache.
Yeah, me and him, we could be the Blues Brothers down here. Gosh,
You can't even grow a mustache. No one's ever seen that movie?
Which one is it?
Is it A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Oh, I love
I
that
seen
movie.
it
That's
one
funny
time.
as
I
hell.
did. I liked it. That's
a good one.
It's funny as shit.
I think before you joined the band, Captain was finding these people on Reddit or something for us to try out, and then they came to practice. He's like, "So what's your profession?" And 2 out of 3 times,
You were
I'm a
finding-
cop. And we're like,
Oh shit!
they were all cops.
I went and smoked in my room, and I was like, I probably smell like weed.
The last person you want.
gonna come back here and fuck with
You
me.
found band members on Reddit?
The last thing
That's
we
what he
need
did, I think. I don't know.
in
Yeah,
our
he's trying to get murdered.
band room
Yeah.
is a cop.
Shit.
What happened?
Scott literally told all the guys, he's like, I promise she's not a cop.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he tried out half the department before you.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to cop around just for some of the things I talk about, let alone the things I do. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't fully relax. Even if he was cool, I'd still be like, "You class traitor."
Like the things that come out of our mouths in the band room, especially when
Yeah.
we're learning or writing something,
Yes.
no one needs to hear
No
that,
one.
especially not anyone of authority. We put on a watch list like that.
We'd be incarcerated.
We're just constantly stimming at practice, like yelling
True.
things.
It's just
Yelling at
and it's
each
just
other.
horrible.
It's
foul
just,
things.
it's just a
idiots.
bunch of ADHD dudes
You know,
who are just
God, it probably does feel like walking into a DV call. If I were walking up to the band practice door, hearing all the screaming and the loud noise.
Me and Alex are arguing.
Yeah, I mean,
Where you guys, the sound of your guys' band in itself, without even the lyrics, sounds like a cop's worst nightmare anyway.
That's
It's
true.
like raw punk, you know?
We're like the next worst thing right after Rage Against the Machine for an officer, I guess, right?
I don't know. I guess. Yeah, I think a lot about the cops that try to be cool, and try to be hip. It's like when you do see one, it's so weird and awkward. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you
Just
doing?
that uniform.
You're about to murder me.
Yeah. Maybe those are the ones you need to watch
What are you
out
trying
for.
to trick me into right now?
You see him shoot basketball with the neighborhood kids, and it's like, man, you're moving around in that uniform. You look like a juggernaut out there.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Them fifth
I seen
graders.
a cop flip he did a kickflip or something.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
was pretty
video
rad.
that was pretty
rad.
cool. Again, to do that in that uniform, I
He
don't
was
know
down
about
for
that.
it.
There's a Gaston County cop that got real famous on TikTok. I'm not going to do a name drop, but he was like one of the city police stations, and he was going on TikTok making videos talking about dumb criminals and stuff like that, and he blew up. Now he's performing in bigger arenas all over the country and
driving
stuff.
in his car talking about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I think I remember that.
But I mean, hey, more power to you, man. Like,
Act like he ain't know nobody.
Dude,
Pop
filming
off.
TikToks while he's driving. I can't get away with that. Probably not.
Hey man, they're probably Netflixing on that computer they have.
again, I'll say this to kind of put a bow on this. I got a lot of respect for that profession because it is very dangerous and it can be very scary.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of the bureaucracy and like red tape that's involved in that and the training aspect, how they don't train de-escalation, they train kind of
Intimidation.
aggression.
Yeah.
Those are my two big problems with the way that
Yeah.
things work. And
Oh, yeah.
but because you gotta have some guardrails in society. Like
Yeah.
I was an anarchist at one time myself, and then I got older and had kids and realized you live long enough, you'll see some wild shit. And there are some people out there that if there were no law enforcement around,
They wouldn't care.
Some people just do
there
not
would.
care.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about that movie, The Purge. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No
like,
empathy.
Yeah,
for
oh, yeah,
people,
definitely.
so it's like it's what do you call like a necessary evil or whatever to have a free and prosperous society. So I don't want to just shit on cops, but after watching that body cam footage this morning, I'm like, fuck those guys.
They can do a lot better. Yeah, a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
I think Zion said it the best. It doesn't matter your background. There's always good people and bad people. But that's what's scary about cops is they are people too.
Yeah.
You know?
And you don't know. You don't know who they
If
are.
this guy's having a bad day, he can just ruin your life.
Yeah. All right. Enough of cops. That's
Yeah,
a whole other
enough
podcast.
of that.
That's our stance.
We're going to talk about cops for an
All right,
hour.
we're good. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the Ruff'tons. What's up, fellas?
What's
Look
up,
right
Rooster?
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cock-a-doodle-doo!
Oh yeah.
How do you do?
Rooster is roosting right now, my friend.
Introduce yourself. Tell everyone what you're doing in the band, and we'll get into it.
Go first, lead singer.
Oh, Jesus. Hi, my name is Marcos. I play rhythm guitar, and I am the lead vocalist of the Ruff'tons, and write most of the songs, I guess, and whatever. So, and that's what I do. I don't know. I think the project started like 2016, and it was started pretty bad, and thanks to these guys, we've gotten a lot better. I love y'all,
Shucks.
man. Come on.
My name's Tristan McKinney, and I hit stuff really hard and try to do it in time.
He's not talking about drums. He just beats us.
I'm Alex. I play bass guitar. Or I try to, and I try to sing also.
My name is Jonathan Shackleton, and I play guitar and try to sing. Lead guitar.
we do. We try.
All the
We always
try our
tweedly-dees
best.
on the album.
We
That's
try our
me.
best.
We're not the best,
Sing,
but we try
scream,
our
yell.
best.
It's all the same. But
And you can see the Ruff'tons right here at the Rooster live this coming Saturday, March 1st, for the Ruff'tons album release party. I'm so
yes.
excited for new shit
Yeah,
from you guys.
7 days.
Yes. Well,
Creeping
it'll be
up.
5 days when this comes out.
Sorry, guys, we're in the past.
But all right. So you guys reached out, got a new album coming. I always tell bands, especially ones that we really like, that if they ever want to do an album release, to call me, and that's what they did, and that's why we're doing this. And I'm so excited. You have your tandem punk band, Next Door Neighbor Yaller, is going to be here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Buddies.
Yeah.
The only
Our
other cool
buddies.
thing in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And then we've got is it Blistering
Blistering Dissonance from
Dissonance.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say difference, but it's dissonance.
Yes.
And those guys are from Asheville area,
Asheville.
so they're coming down. And then Evergone, Charlotte Baby's Evergone will be opening the show. So this is a 4-band bill. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've yet to see Blistering Dissonance, so I can't speak for them, but I've seen all the 3 other bands before, and I can tell you for a fact they're all great bands. You're going to have a good time. Now, let's talk about the album. We're celebrating a new album. What's it called?
Goo.
It's called
Goo.
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 That's it.
G-O.
All right.
The Ruff'tons. Goo. That's it.
That's it.
I didn't want to call the album that.
Nor did I.
particularly. We couldn't come to an agreement. We didn't know what to call it, so we're just like, we're going to make a poll. I don't know what we did it on, but
We did it on Instagram.
we're like, we
Instagram.
put it the faith in our friends and family, and everyone picked Goo for us.
It was
so-
like
What were the
either-
other options?
It was like PDP,
that was
which
one.
is a name of a really badass song.
One of our
album
songs.
McAlmface.
Taboo, which was another song.
Taboo.
It stands for Procrastinating Doomsday Prepper.
Yeah.
Jay Shack thought of a good one. I loved it. He wanted to call it Fear and Loathing in Ruff'ton County. I fucking
That'd be
loved it.
kinda funny.
That was
That's
great.
good.
I think it's cool. It's just we already have the Ruff'tons on the album. You know,
Yeah.
that's our name.
I know.
Could have maybe done like Rutherford County, but it was a long title.
Rutherford.
No one says it. Like
It sounds like an old Fallout Boy song or something. Gosh.
But yeah, they voted Goo in.
Yeah, and
put
that's
a poll
it.
up and
short, sweet, to the point.
to the point, and then we were like, okay, I guess that's the name of it.
Are you guys gonna be playing the album like start to finish for the show?
I
or,
was
like-
kind of thinking that.
Believe
Sure,
so.
yeah,
Yeah, I believe we will.
We're gonna do it start to finish and
Right
throw in, like
on.
a cover. or
And
two
maybe
or
we'll
something.
play a bonus couple songs for you guys that's not on the album, you know?
Right on. I'm excited for you. Are you now? When is the actual release date of the album?
It is currently on the streaming services.
It's already on
It's
streaming
already
services.
out, so you
And-
can go now and check them out.
This is
you
our
What's your
CD
preferred
release.
streaming service?
Spotify, probably.
Probably
personally?
Spotify.
Yeah. Well, what
I-
do you want people to go listen to
Oh,
it on?
I don't know. It's on YouTube,
It's on
Spotify,
YouTube,
iTunes.
Spotify.
Boost our
A
numbers
lot of
on
people been going to
Spotify, sure.
I guess. I don't Spotify too much.
Yeah, Spotify seems to be the dominant force right now.
Yeah.
So here's what you do: you go to Spotify, and you pull up the Ruff'tons, and you pull up Goo, and you play it. And then when you're ready to go to bed, you just mute it and just let it keep playing on your phone or your
Now
TV
we're talking.
while
Yeah.
you sleep
Streams up. Get those
and
streams
get those streams up. Let's push these guys up, get them on some playlists, get them in the algorithm. These
Oh,
guys
yeah.
deserve
Slumber
it.
us.
They deserve your love.
Let us infiltrate the dirty, rotten music machine.
Yeah, well, that's what we do here. You guys know, we play just the local music and bands that have played here on our PA.
I love it. I know. I'll
and
be like,
like-
oh, my homies, you're playing my homies.
Yes, and during sets, we don't even pause it. We just mute it so that it'll keep
keep
playing
going.
the local
Yep.
stuff. So like we're doing our part. We're doing as much as we can.
Yeah.
But the problem now is that the playlist has gotten so big because so many bands are on it that like you might there might be songs out there that we've never even played because the list is so big. But still, we're doing what we can.
That's a benefit, man.
Yeah.
You get to beat so many bands, so you get to have like the longest badass.
Yeah,
playlist
it
of
is. Yeah, it's really cool because like until you really dive into the local music scene, you really don't understand just how good some of these local artists
Yeah.
are.
Oh, God,
absolutely.
yeah. God, yeah.
It's like it's one of my favorite things about doing this. Meeting artists whose music is just as good, if not better, than the shit I was listening to before I opened this place up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's pretty exciting.
Hidden
The
gems.
local stuff is 10 times better than anything I hear on the radio. I feel like I say this all the time, though,
Yeah.
is that like it really is to get on the radio to get big is about money and who you know and all
Yeah.
that bullshit and stuff. Because there's bands that are 10 times better than anything you hear on the radio that are right down the road.
Definitely.
You know?
You got a favorite local band? That's not Yaller. Because we all love them.
That's a biased thing, I know. Love y'all so much. Galaxy says they wouldn't be a band unless I kind of made them do it, I think. I had just a funny story. It was like we were doing the New Year's Eve show, and I had 6 bands on. We did it at Barley's, my place in Spindale where I work. And Galaxy and Jason were just like, we're thinking of doing a punk rock band. I was like, cool, man, let me know. And then a month later I hit them up. I was like, hey, is your punk rock band ready to play? I got this show. And they're like, sure. So I think that kind of fired them up to play. But there's so many great bands in this scene, in this area of North Carolina. There's so many great bands from Charlotte, but I love the Bleeps.
Oh, yeah.
That
I was
is
gonna say the
Yeah,
one
that's
of my
probably
favorite
my
bands.
favorite. That's probably
Wasn't
some
it
of
you
our-
that brought them here the first time?
Huh?
Wasn't it you that brought them here the first time?
I think we got them on the show. I think Saluda was playing with
Yeah, we played with
Zombie.
the
They're on
Bleeps
tour.
here.
It was a Monday show. Thank you for hosting that. Mondays are tough.
They are.
And I didn't get to play. I just got to have fun. I got really drunk.
another really good band that I personally love is This Island Earth.
Those guys
Damn,
are so
right.
fun.
Awesome.
So good.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I
And-
couldn't agree more. They've played here once or twice, and they were a lot of fun.
We played with them in Saluda, us three, and it's the only band we've played with in Saluda that fit with us. It was the same kind of unique stuff, but God, they were just. I don't
was
get
nervous.
how he does the crazy tapping stuff with his fretting hand while
Yeah.
singing. That is impressive
Yeah.
because they are
Very
impressive
good.
Yeah,
vocally
very
and
good
instrumentally.
I remember
They're one of my favorite too.
when we were watching them and I just looked at Tristan and I was like,
We have to go on
Fuck.
after this.
we gotta play
gotta
it.
follow this.
how the fuck are we gonna do this?
There was a band called Planet Size Planet. I think they disbanded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
recently.
loved them.
They're very good. There's their music pops up a lot on our indie playlist.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
they've got good
And-
recordings.
Yeah.
Really
Such good songwriting,
really
too.
heartfelt
Songwriting.
stuff,
Yeah.
but like fun and done in a fun way, like
Yep.
not too serious.
And
Yeah,
really interesting too, like musically.
yes, yes, very kind of like got this eclectic kind of thing to them where they don't sound like anybody else.
Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're
Definitely.
very good. And you guys, I'm a little bit jealous of like your geographical position. Kind of puts you in the Asheville and the Charlotte scene.
Oh,
Right in
yeah.
between.
We're lucky.
Yeah, you guys are like really
True.
smack dab in the middle. So talk a little bit about like, do you see that as an advantage or a disadvantage?
Definitely an advantage. I've helped so many of my friends that have toured out of state. I used to do like showcases at Barley's. We're not doing so many shows at Barley's that are allowed anymore, but there's a new bar open down the street, so I'm trying that. Poor Boys. We're actually going to play there May 9th. But it's really convenient because I have a lot of friends, so it's like if they want to try Asheville or Charlotte, I'll try to do something local in our town. But now a lot of times they just want help in Asheville or Charlotte. So it's like, yep, we know these venues, we know these bands, we know these people, they're great, and you'll have a good time, and they'll take good care of you. And I think it's a really good spot, just being
It is.
kind of in the center of those two
And
cities.
I've never really thought about that before because you grow up where I grew up there, so like I'm always just used to being in the middle of nowhere. But you really are in between a major metropolitan area, and then you got culturally rich
Yeah,
Asheville.
hippie center, yeah.
So yeah, but
Or hippie
it's
central.
definitely an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you get decent crowds in Rutherfordton? Like, because I mean, it is kind of a spread out area. It's not densely populated. So when you do a show in Spindale, like, can you get 30, 40, 50 people out?
Truthfully,
Oh,
you really
definitely.
can
We
because
do have a good
We have a
little
really like tiny, very very supportive scene.
Yeah.
In our county,
and
you know.
that is the thing when you do an alternative showcase in any small town. You know, it's kind of like a not city, but like tri-town area.
Yeah.
There's 3 small towns: Rutherfordton, Spindale, Forest City, and then some smaller communities out there.
Yeah.
It's middle of nowhere stuff, but you know, any given small town, you're gonna have alternative folks. You know, younger kids, like high school, and then right after, who are into that kind of music. And if you can get the word spread to them I used to put flyers at the local college, like there's a community college, and then
Gardner
spread
Webb's kinda
word to
close,
like
too.
the high school. Gardner Webb's close by as
Mhm.
well. And so I feel like that any time that there is a show, if we promote it and post it enough, especially like Instagram, you know, the stuff that all the folks around my age are on, you can really get a good crowd. We've like the New Year's Eve show, we had like 100 people in there.
Yeah, we
really.
did a pre-sale.
That was like a couple years back, and there were
We pre-sold tickets. I think we sold 120 something tickets,
and that's
Oh, yeah.
big numbers for a
and that's
town
aside
of
from like
where we
the
are.
6
you
bands
know?
of members
No.
and their girlfriends that probably got them for free. You know.
Yeah.
The biggest crowd
Yeah.
that we've had in our county for us is probably Fab Fest.
The last Fab Fest. Was
Oh,
good.
last
yeah.
Fab Fest
Yeah.
we had
Fab
a really,
Fest.
It's
Food
a
Art
Food Art
Brew.
Brew Festival
Food Art.
in
Okay.
Rutherfordton. They located there. I'm actually one of the board members this year. Shout
We
out to
infiltrated
my
it.
Fab family. Love y'all. We played with Yaller.
Surprise.
But it was a good combination. They killed it as always. And it was, I don't know, it was our 4th Fab in a row. I
feel
think,
like we've done
playing.
that something
Yeah.
right.
And it was definitely it
was the best.
personally, it was my favorite
It
show.
was
we
awesome.
ever
It was
played at
awesome.
home.
it was
Really.
like on Halloween. It was near Halloween or something.
Oh,
like
speaking
that.
of which, I guess if this is dropped in 2 days, our music video will be dropping in like
Yes.
the same amount of
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
it's
it was fun there.
yeah,
Footage.
It's,
Be on the lookout.
It's a video of us playing Taboo, and it's got clips of us playing Fab Fest. And
Do you want to put that at the beginning of this episode?
Sure.
You want us to- all right,
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
yeah.
Right on.
Put like a
Right.
clip and then put the whole thing at the end or something.
Yeah. We can do like a clip of it up front and then play the whole thing at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teaser.
Hope
Get
you
them
enjoyed that
excited.
clip at the beginning of the show.
What a good idea we just had.
I'll
that
tell
we
you one
totally
thing
had.
that I don't know if you've ever thought about this or not, but one advantage to being kind of in the middle of nowhere is you can throw together like a big outdoor thing without a lot of resistance. Like in order for us to do an outside show here, I have to jump through a ton of hoops with permits and
Yeah.
licensing and all the bullshit that you got to do something in the city. You know, I mean, shit. I know every year around Halloween we drive out. It's not quite where you're at. It's a little bit past Shelby. There's a big corn maze out there.
Yep.
And you've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
all these
Nice.
large properties where you could set up and
Break some generators and just
Yep.
hook it up and make an old school punk show happen.
Me and my friends from high school, we used to have shows on my drummer's property, and
Yeah.
like whenever we were in high school, that's how I met him.
Yeah,
actually.
I came
He
to
came
one
to
of
one of the
those.
shows.
I was like, I was the only person who wasn't a family member. I walked in, I'm like, oh God, I know nobody here. It's really awkward. So I just kind of sat down. They had like a bunch of steel chairs. It was almost like a family reunion kind of thing.
It was
or
hot as
something.
hell.
It was
God,
all
so
people.
hot.
They went to a different school. Alex did. And I knew none of them except for from Facebook. And so I just like showed up and I was like, I got to meet musicians around here somehow. I'm going to fight the social anxiety and stay.
Yeah, me and him were like
Good
Facebook
for you,
friends
man.
for
Yeah.
Oh, a hot
a good
minute,
while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a common thread with a lot of us in this community is, the awkwardness and the it's either ADHD or it's like extreme anxiety. It's one, you're on one side of the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're either
a
like
bunch of
super
autism.
outgoing and like social butterfly, or you're a complete introvert.
You just
And-
described half of this band's personality.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think that's one thing that I love about our community. It's like when I go to like a show, whether it's we're playing or attending, I know I'm hanging out with people that are like weird like me, and I feel
Yeah.
safe, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Is
to be
the
here.
music scene out there pretty diverse? Like pretty good variety?
in Rutherfordton?
Yeah, because you're
There's
that
a
was
shit
kind of
ton
like
of
the
bluegrass.
sticks. So I was going to say
Shit
there's a
ton
lot
of
of
cover
bluegrass
bands.
out there.
Too many
cover
bands
bands,
cover
a lot of
Wagon Wheel.
Yeah,
My,
Swear to God.
my father, he was a cover musician for about he still is about 45 years.
Name
He
drop.
plays
name
with.
drop, name
Yeah, I'm
drop.
gonna name drop.
Johnny McKinney.
That man,
Yeah.
Johnny.
He is a damn good guitar player, and he
plays with
it's
Rocky
so funny
Elton
because like
and the Higher
he,
Guns.
he
stuff.
plays like Jason Aldean and shit like that, but he goes home and listens to like Meshuggah, like,
So
so
weird.
funny.
Wow.
He listens to everything. Like he loves Queensryche. Obviously, he's an '80s
That's
kid.
a killer fucking band, dude. Of course he loves Queensryche.
Yeah, but he
It
goes.
kicks ass.
But like he can go home, and sometimes like I just be chilling out in the living room, and I hear Animals as Leaders or Chon in the other room, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know? Like it's so weird, but
It's very,
Our alternative bands are really great, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like I moved to Rutherford County in the middle of 2015. I'm from Orlando, Florida originally. I was born and raised there, and I played in a shit ton of bands and toured a lot. So I'd always toured through here, but I moved just when like some of the local punk bands broke up. Like there was Crimson Knights. They were like just really jokey, funny, great guys. Tiny, we love you, best soundman ever. They like had just stopped. I think No Neutral Ground
was
We stole their singer.
they were
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they weren't playing too much, but then like when I showed up, all the alternative bands had just stopped, and I was like, I was learning people. I didn't know anyone. I was like, I want to start a punk band here, but I don't know how it's gonna go. I worked at Barley, so I was like, I kind of had my foot in the door to make a show, so let me try it. And we played, and it went okay, and people liked it. And then slowly, people were like, "There's a punk band here." I was like, "Do you have one?" And I slowly like started like finding all the people that liked alternative music, and I was like, "If you have a weird band, I'll book you. Play with us, so we're not like alone." And then
Yeah.
Crimson Knights started playing shows again. No Neutral Ground started playing shows again, and then
For a little
we found like Lamps Required. Y'all are formed, and then Saluda. These boys also play in Saluda. Great.
Some of
True
those
that.
bluegrass
Those
bands you
hardcore
could probably throw in the front of throw as an opener, dude. Bluegrass is like mountain punk.
Really?
Yeah, I've always
Yes.
said,
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was just really cool. And then we just had this like unique little scene of like alternative bands, and like people are like, "You guys," like people would tell me like, "Marcus, you helped revive this scene." I was like, "No, we all did, because it's a group effort."
The interesting
absolutely.
thing is like you find new folks in the scene every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give a shout out to when you asked about our favorite local bands. One that I really enjoy playing with that we've played with twice now, both in January, is a band called All Blissed Out.
Oh,
And it's
they're
these
new.
kids,
Oh, yeah,
and
they're
it's
great.
like kids. Like, you know, you may look at me and Alex like, oh, those are kids. Like these kids are like
high
they're a
school.
few years
They're
younger than
in high
me. Like they're like 17,
Yeah.
18
And they
still.
kick ass.
And
They're
they go on
talented.
stage.
God.
Good
and they
energy,
are
and they just
crazy.
channel like '80s hardcore punk.
Oh,
They do
nice.
so
they're
great.
Singer
And they're
goes
from,
ape shit. Like it's so good to see.
The recordings
Good
are really
theatrics.
good.
And then their guitarist lives like you know, like a street over from where I used to live. You know, so it's like he lives in Rutherford County. I found that very interesting. It's like still to this day finding more alternative musicians.
Exactly.
And then also don't want to forget about Lamps Required in Forest City. That's our good friend Nick Bradley's band. They're awesome.
Yeah, they've been here a
like-
couple times.
Yeah,
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 they're cool.
they're sick. They're
What-
like
What was the name of that last one? The young band?
All Blissed Out.
All Blissed
and
Out.
And they're
so
from Polk
they are
County.
awesome.
Yep.
And really would love to get them in here one day
That'd be good, 'cause
if
some-
they haven't been here.
A lot of like really young bands, they can't play at Milestone.
Yeah, a lot of
different
venues
places.
Yeah.
won't book them because of their age.
Yeah.
We played with them at
Do y'all run into that ever?
Fleetwood's.
Oh, thus.
Yeah.
With age
Burger
things.
Bar, right?
Sometimes Burger Bar. That
Holy
went weird.
hell,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my
No,
god.
I'm not throwing shade. But
We-
I don't think they enjoyed the
Well,
fact
like we
that
were
there was
honest.
another
We
age
like
in
we
the
told
band.
like Jonathan couldn't make that show, but
Yeah.
us three were playing it. We were honest. We told him that Alex is underage, but no one gave us a heads up that we had to like let the venue know ahead of time.
Yeah.
But we told the door guy we thought everything was cool, and then they found out one of us was underage, and they kind of freaked out. They thought you were underage too.
What the fuck?
Maybe that's why they
How?
freaked out because you're drinking. And maybe they're like,
How
that
they
kid's
looked at
getting
him.
fucking wasted.
This guy's a
I
dad.
mean, it is. I get it. Like I totally get why venues are like that.
They get a lot of trouble.
yeah.
Get a lot of trouble
I
for
get
that.
it.
Get a
It's
lot
hard
of
on the
trouble.
back
like,
end.
I just eat the extra insurance cost and just I don't even think about it. I'm like, this is just what it costs to do. It's a cost of doing business.
Thank you for making all
Yeah,
these
I
shows
really
happen here,
respect
too, by the
that.
way, Michael.
It's very
All
important.
ages shows because it's like last night the Saluda show we played after we played in Eulogy. We played the Eulogy show and then 3 of us pack up, run over, and meet up with our other band members. And 27 Club, wonderful venue, but everything there is 21 plus, and it kind of takes away from our draw because there's a lot of friends of mine who are like, hey man, I swapped shifts with this guy so I can make your show, and I'm like, oh, it's actually 21 plus, and but they're not really bad about like the band members. They just give you X's and a stern talking to when you get there. They're like,
He still got the X from last night.
you with anything, I'm gonna shove this
I
stick
see
up
a
your ass,
glass.
boy. And it's like, okay, I got you. I gotta drive, man. I'm covering I gotta be on a podcast in the morning. I'm not doing anything crazy,
Dude, if
I promise.
I
It's like
think if
sniff
I had
my
one
water
drop
bottle.
of
It's
alcohol-
not vodka, I swear. And so, but other than that, it is. But there are a lot of venues that do all ages shows too, though, like Fleetwood's,
The Rooster.
the Rooster, where we're sitting.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, I actually find that I take pride in the fact that we do all ages shows. I've watched so many bands that we've put on shows and booked that have pulled me or Arrow one to the side and just profusely thanked us for allowing them to play. It's like, I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but you're making someone's dream come true. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
It's a way of pouring into the next
Every
generation.
Like,
time.
that's
Every
really
time. It
what
never
you're
gets
doing.
old.
It's like you're a real, actual stage venue with a crowd, and it's like, why wouldn't you want to provide that service?
It's a way of pouring
Yeah.
into the next generation too, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to come here, and when they're young, when they're like super like absorbing everything, they see a band play, like maybe it's their first band ever.
Oh
you know,
God!
and it
Yeah.
just
And to have families, like the ability to bring, like, if you have younger siblings,
Yeah.
to have them watch you, to have a space where like Tristan could bring his kids to a show if he really wanted, and like have them watch him up there playing drums and whatnot. And like if I wanted to bring my little sister, it's very it's good to have that opportunity. you know?
Well, for me, it's playing the long game, right? Like everybody, most people that own a bar, they want to make money. I want to make money. Like,
course.
this is what I'm trying to do for a living. But I'm looking at it as longevity. Like, if I can sink my claws into the whole next generation of people that's going to be musicians and have them feel safe and comfortable here and love this place, then that ensures that I can keep these doors open for years to come, because that's a whole generation of people that when they are old enough to drink will be coming here to do shows, come see shows, and keep our doors open. So if you want me to break it down like that, it's a business decision for me, but it's having the long view, not just I need to make a buck now.
yeah,
Right.
it's
You know
more,
what I
mean? Yeah, for sure.
there's
Yeah.
legacy in that too.
Yeah.
There's-
Yeah, I mean, I want to inspire kids. I wish to God there was something like this when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have been off getting in trouble. You know what I mean? If I
Right.
had a place to go. You know what I mean?
True that.
I don't know about you guys, but I was breaking a lot of laws in the 1990s.
I was a hellion in middle school.
Yeah. Luckily, growing up in Orlando, I did have were all ages punk shows to go to. Like, it was kind of a cool thing the House of Blues did in Disney, downtown Disney. They did like a monthly thing called House of Punk, and they'd have like some local bands play. They're like a lot, every month. It was really cool, and we had very crappy dive bars that were all ages that we played sometimes too.
Well, with Orlando being such a tourist,
Uncle Lou's is just beautiful. It's the CBGBs of Orlando.
It's awesome.
That's just
That was such a great
well,
show.
Orlando's it's such a touristy town, and there's a lot of people that live there. So what is the scene there in Orlando with it being, because I would imagine that the majority of people that you would see at a show you'll never see again, right? They're traveling, they're hanging out, and they just come out. Was there a cohesive scene?
in Orlando.
In Orlando.
Oh, we had a really great scene. It was definitely a great scene growing up. First, you kind of go to bigger shows. You go to Warped Tour back when it was still cool, and you'd see people there. like I made friends from just going to shows that I didn't go to school with or anything.
Yeah.
And then they would start coming out to local shows and stuff. And then slowly, like, you know, like kind of like start when a band, you start like anyone else, you play for 5 people and you meet more friends, and then you get 15 friends and you got 50 friends and, you know, kind of thing or whatever. But it was a good life growing up. I was definitely lucky. And we had a lot of bands, a lot. We had a variety of like, lots of hardcore, like power violence punk.
Yeah.
Then you had like a lot of ska bands and pop punk, and we had like garagey stuff. It was really cool. It was cool.
What brought you to Rutherfordton from Orlando? That had to be a culture shock for you.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Rutherfordton on the map and was like, I want to go there. No, I'm just kidding.
No one would ever
I
do
never
that.
heard of fucking Rutherford County. My dad passed in 2009. I'm going to try and make this a long story short. And then after that, my mom got probate and everything situated. She just was ready to get out of the city, you know. She had Hep C. She had a bad blood transfusion in the 80s. So, you know, she's just like, she was over it, just wanted to go. And she wanted to live closer to her sister, who moved from Cali to Rutherford County. And I think she might have helped her find that house. I don't know how they found it, but they did. And then she wanted to move there. So she got her house in 2010, and I'd always visit. And she officially was there in like 2012. And then in 2015, she's like, hey, Marcos, I kind of need you to come move here. And I was in a very bad, rough patch in my life then. I was in a very toxic, abusive relationship, and I just wasn't taking good care of myself. So it was a good time for me to just get out of Orlando.
Yeah.
Because it was a great place to grow up, but you can fall into like, you know,
Bad habits.
the drug druggy kind of bar
Yeah.
scene kind of thing and all that shit. And it was good timing because like a year later I lost her. So I moved here, got to take care of her
So
for the
you got
last
to
year.
spend that last year or so with her.
Yeah, and it was a good transition going into my 30s because it was like I calmed down a bit, you know, in like a small town.
You calm down?
Oh well, not
I've
that
seen
much.
you on stage, dude.
I used to be Florida man
Oh man, I've seen
still
footage
is
of you
Florida,
on
man.
stage back.
when I'm in Florida.
So all right, so how did you meet these guys? How did the Ruff'tons start?
We just showed up
Great
to his
story.
house. And
Oh,
he
it's
let us
Great
in.
story.
It started with none of us. I can tell you.
Oh,
that.
none of us know.
I had a neighbor named Jason, and we kind of jammed together in 2016. And I just thought, Rutherford County, the Ruff'tons, that's just a funny name. And we were like a 2-piece for a while. I played drums and sang at first, actually.
We should also say that Ruff'tons is how people
Yeah.
say Rutherfordton.
Oh
Because of the dialect.
I would talk
Yeah.
to kids. I would talk to kids. Yeah, exactly. I talk to kids. Be like, Rutherford County is not bad. You know, I like it here. They're like, this is Ruff'ton County. What are you talking about? This place sucks.
Ruff'ton.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna call my band that if I ever start one here, and I did. And so like then we met the captain like a year later. In 2017, my neighbors were having like a party for their 2-year-old or something, and there's just a bunch of adults and kids there. And then like I just gravitated towards him. I'm like, yeah, this is some crazy shit, huh? What's up? And then we just got on the topic, and he's like, I play bass. I'm like, I'm looking for a bass player. Do you want to play in a punk band? He's like, sure. And Scott Lane, we love you, by the way. So we crested him the captain, and then we played for a little while. And then he kind of indefinitely left, and then we had some other member changes. And then pretty much when the pandemic happened, the band was just defunct, and I didn't think anything was going to happen out of it. And I like started like taking our shirts to my work because I was like, well, tour got canceled. We got all this shit. What am I going to do with it? I'll hang it up, see if people want to buy it. And the name works great in Rutherford County because sold a shitload of shirts, and half the people didn't know we're a punk band.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, sweet. But then Captain came back. He had a job in Texas, and he moved back. And he's like, I want to do the band again. I'm like, okay. So we relearned our songs, and we tried out a couple members. And then we met Tristan. I met Tristan at work one day. So I was bartending. You were dining in. Then he walks up, and he sees our T-shirt. He's like, hey, I was curious, like, can I buy a T-shirt? He was like,
I'm the only member of the band that's bought one of our t-shirts.
and we never paid him back.
Such a drummer thing. It's the most drummer thing
Yeah.
about me. I've paid for our merch.
So you
knows
saw the shirt. When you saw the shirt, did you want it because you knew of the band?
I think I
or
had
because-
him on Facebook maybe.
Yeah.
And like I knew he was in a
I
punk
think
band.
we briefly kind of talked
Yeah.
before the pandemic, but
And
the
my-
world got all fucked up and crazy, so we forgot about
Yeah,
it.
my previous band had just disbanded too, so I was like, I want to play music again. I want to play in a rock band. I want to play in a punk band, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
I think you're kind of shy. You're like, can I buy a shirt? And then after we did the exchange, you're like, are you looking for a drummer, by the way? I was like, actually, sure. And that really, when he joined Ruff'tons, we're undefunct. And then,
Never played punk music before either, so that was a
Really?
big culture
Oh,
shock.
man.
What's your go? What like is Saluda more what you're?
I'm a post-hardcore kid.
Okay.
Like I like Seos and Circuit Survive, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Your band before was like, I mean, it was a little calmer, I suppose,
Yeah.
in a way.
I like
Rowdy
mathy
Leaf.
stuff, but I don't know. I've always been a post-hardcore kid, so the first practice I was like,
He was
fuck, I
scared.
can't do this.
oh, that was funny. Can I tell the
Cardio.
story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I made you like a stiff vodka drink.
Yep.
Like I usually do my guests. I'm like, hey buddy, what's up? And I just want to be a kind guest. So I hope I can say this, but I shared a bowl of green things in
Yep.
it. I'll say that. And he doesn't really smoke anymore.
No.
You used to be.
I
like
had no tolerance.
He was like a stoner in his younger years. I was like, just try to be a polite host. Like, come on, man, what this shit? And he was like,
I'm too
"Hi."
polite to say no. I feel like I don't want to be rude.
So I made him a
I'm just gonna
stiff-ass
mainline a
drink.
panic attack for you.
Yeah,
So.
and got you high.
Both
and
your
then
social
you were
anxieties
you were
took
like
over.
telling me, you're like, I was playing these songs, and I was like, I can't do this. And he's the best drummer, like ever. Like,
He is
so rough.
insane.
It was so rough.
He is insane. He's the best drummer.
That might be one of the most useful things about marijuana is like I know back in the day when I played, if I got high, I was in a fucking zone. Like just like forever.
All your inhibitions
It's
gone.
like butter.
Yeah.
You're not second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
You're,
It's like it helped back then. It helped me kind of zero in and focus on.
It used to do that to
Yeah.
me. Just my brain chemistry changed one day, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I can
hit puberty.
manual
it was like-
breathing.
It's just anxious.
It
yeah.
still does that to me. Like that's just part of my
Yeah.
ritual. And I just go up on stage and I'm like, ah.
So Tristan comes to practice. Are you kind of immediately like this is the guy, or did that situation instill some doubt? Like
Not
when
at
you
all.
guys met?
He was like freaking out, and I was like,
But it was internally.
he's got this. And then the second practice, he played everything great.
Yeah,
By
the
the
first
second-
practice, like
I was
I
like-
didn't really know what I was into. Like I'd listen to the record you gave me, and like it's punk music. It's really fast, and I'm like, okay, I can learn all these songs. But when it comes to playing that with other people, I've never done that.
Yeah.
I'd always just I had a couple bullshit bands in high school that we played in a fucking shed, but like going to play with an actual good bass player and an actually good singer and guitarist was something different. Who's going to check you on your tempo?
A little intimidating.
And maintain it. Yeah, I'd never had that. So got very fatigued, very high, a little buzzed. So I didn't think I could do it, but
And
Here we are.
And you do great.
yeah, I did my push-ups,
Aw.
became a man. Yeah.
And then how did these guys come into the fold?
Shit.
Oh, he's related to him, so we didn't have a choice.
well,
just
okay.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, make a long story short, we had a member kind of drop out over certain circumstances, and Tristan was like, "Hey man, so can you play a gig like in Anderson?"
Yeah.
Alex is like
God,
the
this
bass
Anderson
player.
show.
That was the first show. Holy hell, dude!
And that was a very weird
another
experience.
story.
That's a funny
that
fucking
is a
story.
hell of a story. We
Don't play Anderson, people.
what's your lore?
Oh man, well, to make a long story kind of long, I was about 16 years old. I had nothing to do. I've been playing guitar for a couple years at that point, getting better and better. Still knew zero musicians in the county. No one in I started in 8th grade, and at that point, I guess I was probably about to enter 11th, and I knew zero other musicians. So I was just walking down Main Street in our town, and I caught wind that around the corner at this little like art studio place that this really weird guy named Ethan had opened up. Was gonna have a punk show, so I was like, sure, I'll go to it. And so I walk in again, nobody, and I think I really like talked to mainly just Scott because Tristan's a little bit coy and he was probably busy setting up, and then Marcos is like talking to everyone else, and so
This is
started
all,
talking
this is
to
also the first Fab Fest
Scott.
Ruff'tons ever played
It was.
too.
Yeah,
like
and
4
I
years
had
ago.
again never met these guys, so I make acquaintance and all that. And next they have a show at Barley's. I'd never even been in there, and then so I go there, slowly worm my way in to know these musicians. The whole time, I'm getting better at guitar, and I like to say the reason I'm kind of a shred guitarist is that I met no other musicians, so it wasn't like I was writing songs and jamming. It was just like sitting in my room with my guitar for like 6 hours a day after school, and I was like, well, I have nothing better to do than play as fast as I can. But eventually, I got closer with Tristan, and we had the idea to start Saluda after I went to that little show that he had at his old drummer's house for his last band.
Yeah.
And then they were going to college or something like that.
And I was staying here, and me and Tristan, you know, I looked up to him whenever I was a kid because I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking.
But apparently they'd never
stupid
jammed
at
together.
drums. But like he, you know, I kind of looked up to him, and we always wanted to start something. And I met him, and I was like, shit, he's fucking cracked. So like, yeah.
But yeah, we kind of formed Saluda, and the whole time, you know, I've been close with Marcos. I was going to about every Ruff'tons show way before I was in the band, and you know, Saluda was a thing for a little bit, and then it kind of started like, oh hey, we want to do this cover by a band called Hum, who, you know, I freak out about. Tristan freaks out about. The first band we ever connected about was talking about Hum over text. And it was like, hey, can you step in and play this one song with us? So I played like one song with the Ruff'tons. The next set, it was like, oh, we don't want to do it at the very end. So, you know, can you play it like second to last? Then you'll play the last song with us. So I learned that song. And I slowly just kind of assimilated. And then at one point I was playing like half the set for a couple shows. And then I one day, me and Marcos, I was working washing dishes on the weekend at Barley's because I bartended at a place that was only open 3 days a week. And we were just kind of standing out back after work, and he was like, well, I know you're already kinda, but like, do you want to be part of the band? And I was like, of course I do. Of course
So you
I
want to just
do.
make it official?
Yeah, he was like, we should make it official. I was like, you know what? We really should. And yeah, haven't looked back
we are.
since.
And,
We had a
and
baby.
we've all been the best
We did.
friends
Then we
ever
had a
since.
baby.
We did.
And I just want to say I love you guys. And
I love you too, bud.
you know, I kind of would take like kind of a crappy song and they would make it better because you guys just really help color the canvas with what we do, and I just love y'all so much. They're very talented. They're just, you guys, you know, they're just all very talented, and like this formation, this is the Ruff'tons. I was like, okay, I feel like a real band
I think
now.
you finally got it right.
Yeah, you know,
Man.
Yeah,
Trial
well,
and
I mean,
error a
I'll
bunch
say
of
from
times.
what I've seen, you know, you've been here a handful of times, and you're one of the most entertaining bands that that play here. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's
thank you, man.
so
Thank you so much.
it's
Thank you.
impossible to not want to get up and move with you guys. You know what I mean?
So
You know what I
much,
mean?
thank you.
You jump around enough, people want to.
Yeah,
It feels
yeah.
awkward to watch
It's
these guys.
infectious.
hopping
It's
around.
get-
You got to get happy and excited.
I mean, you guys bring your own go-go
Excitement.
dancer to shows. That's awesome. Shout out.
Yeah, we definitely love it, babes. But that's one thing we always like to do. We always just try to put on a fun, energetic performance. We like to make every show different. We always try to check our set list from like last time. What did we play last time? We played Rooster. All right, let's switch out these songs, change the order.
Yeah, we really do
Switch the
put a lot
cover.
of effort into that.
We always love just trying to make every show unique and different.
Yep.
So
Right on.
I know this is the worst time ever. But I got to pee real quick. I'll be right back.
We'll wrap it up.
Let's
Oh,
get
no, I don't wanna wrap it
let's
up
get the
yet.
lead singer out of here and talk to the other guys.
So all right. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to your Spotify or YouTube. You're going to look up the Ruff'tons. You're going to go to the new album, Goo. You're going to play it on repeat. Mute it if you've got shit to do, or if you want to go to bed, get their plays up. And you're going to come here Saturday, and you're going to see them live, and we're going to celebrate the new album. And you will have heard it so many times, you'll be able to sing along with all the songs. And what's the name of the song that they're about to see a video of? We'll end the show on that.
Taboo.
Taboo. So enjoy the video for Taboo. Thank you so much, fellas, for coming in today. I really appreciate
Michael.
it.
Been a pleasure.
Peace and love.
We love you guys. Thank you so much, man.
Farewell.
I wake up for work before the sun. Life's a rug when I'm not at my fun. I get up and I head out the front door. Hitch my bus, don't wanna do it anymore. I guess it's what it's like when you're growing old. Don't complain, adjust to what you are told. But Bobby happiness doesn't seem so right. There's gotta be something more to this life. Since I'm feeling that I just do not like. I come home and I lay out on the couch. Life's a blast when you're living in a bunkhouse, except when that mess keeps piling up. It's never fun to clean that fucking junk. Oh no, but I guess it's what it's like with me.